Hello, this is Tony Rasmussen back for episode 22, Primetime. First aired January 31st, 2014. On YouTube, this would have been probably October 2014. This cold opening was... The original idea for the cold opening was that it was going to be a tie-in to a planned story arc that was going to happen throughout the second season. By the way, that was a fake scream, and I actually had to record a scream through the mic and redub it. But it was originally part of an original story arc, and we never ended up doing that. And by the way, if you read that message, that was also tying into the planned story arc. So the idea for this episode was one that we were talking about doing during the entire period that we were not doing episodes. The concept we were going with was we wanted to talk about television, and I must point out here, the slapping sound you hear, that is my hand. It is me going... I didn't realize I caught it on the recorded footage until it was too late. So, but the idea for this episode was we wanted to kind of give a little ode to a sort of a form of media and television you don't hear about as much these days. Primetime animation, which frankly, it is really kind of a lost art. I think there's not that many networks that do primetime animated shows anymore. The Flintstones footage here, that was really slowed down. We had to have enough at least to fill up that time of the speech about the Flintstones. I'll be honest, I don't mind the Flintstones. I actually enjoy it, but it's not one of my personal favorites of the early era. This one, Calvin the Colonel, I enjoy. And the funny story about this one was, I came across this footage kind of on accident. For Christmas one year, I received a DVD set of 600 cartoons. Now, these are all usually public domain cartoons, or often or not, they're the old 40s, Paramount cartoons, and, others among that, like the Betty Boops and Popeyes. What was interesting is, when I came across these, at first I was thinking maybe this was like an army show or something like that. And when I ended up seeing it, I was like, huh, this is, that's a fully fledged primetime animated series. And, digging through my research, I had to realize this show ran for 26 episodes, and they had to have a 3-month hiatus due to creative differences between the sponsors and the network. And that's also what Untimely killed it, was creative differences between the network and the sponsors. So it's kind of a hit and miss. The Simpsons, I think I probably said this before, but I'll say it flat out. The Simpsons is my favorite show of all time. I love The Simpsons completely. And I was actually, when we were talking about, speaking of the third season, we were talking about doing an episode about The Simpsons and the hatred that kind of goes between all of that. Why there is hatred with the show, why there's hatred with this and that. And we never ended up doing that. But I really would have loved to have done an episode talking about sort of why there is fan backlash over the new episodes, and sort of what my take is on it. But I never ended up doing it. But I still love the show. Give or take. Beavis and Butthead's another good one too I enjoy. But the one that, when it comes to the shows on the cable networks like MTV, USA in this case, or Comedy Central, I sort of had that in between where it's middle of Duckman and South Park. And since we're talking about Duckman, what's funny about this show is this is kind of another one I didn't really come across on accident. I just heard so much about it, and I was like, I have to see what the show is. And, digging my research, I was like, this was a 90s animated series. It was kind of popular. It wasn't the best, but it was popular. And what's funny about this one is I could literally name off 5 good episodes that I really recommend for anyone to watch. The one you're seeing here is from an episode called The Clip Show, or The Clip Joint, which is the alternate title. And this whole episode, the clip joint, is actually just like a whole amalgamation on clip shows. In fact, the ending of the episode just makes me laugh. And that moment right there, all the little moments between the two detectives are hilarious. The guy's like, "Anna bomb!" All this is hilarious. I love that. But there's other episodes I recommend. There's one called The Girls of Root Canal, if I do remember the title correctly. That's a really heartwarming episode. Another one that's really heartwarming is The Pilot. That's another really heartwarming one. And what's so unique about this show is the interesting fact that it was kind of an underground hit. And it sparked so much, in animation by that point. What I kind of laugh at is, again, doing the research, this show ran for 4 seasons. Now, there was a planned 5th season that was in the works, but USA canceled it before it could even happen. So the ending of season 4 that we ended up getting, which was the series finale, was actually supposed to be a cliffhanger to the 5th season. And that never ended up happening. The Critic's another great show. I have it recommend. I actually really enjoyed The Critic. And the next thing we're going to talk about here is really surprising me. This really surprised me when I was uploading this to YouTube. I could not believe I was getting away with showing the footage. Viacom, they're the whiny babies that say, "Oh, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine." And it's surprising that I got away with showing this footage. And I just remember thinking to myself, even when I was uploading on Facebook, I'm like, "Oh shit, this is going to be taken off within a minute. I guarantee it." And it never did. It never did on YouTube either. I never got a copyright notice on this video at all. Out of all the bullshit that happened, this is one where I didn't get it. And the funny thing is half these shows I'm talking about, I now own DVD sets of. Like Dilbert, Dilbert's probably one of the more recent animated shows I ended up getting a DVD set of. And some of these are also hard to find. Clerks, I was surprised I did find, a DVD set of it. My perfect reflection on the show, it is a really funny show. I think it's one of those hidden gems that no one ever found out about. ABC really screwed themselves on that show. It's similar to how Fox screwed themselves on Futurama. They didn't realize the popularity that was going to be with the fans. Well, with ABC, I think Clerks they thought it was going to be, a fan hit. And, because it didn't run as many episodes, it could have been a fan hit, but it didn't. And when it ran on Adult Swim, it became a fan hit, but yet Adult Swim did not greenlight the show for more episodes. Plus, I don't think by that time Kevin Smith would have been interested in doing more episodes. Although, now I've heard there is talks about doing more Clerks animated, projects. I guess I've heard he's working on a new made for DVD, straight to DVD film on Clerks, I guess. But I guess also, too, you gotta think he's busy right now working on Clerks 3 and Yoga. Which really, I'm more psyched to see Clerks 3. And Archer's another show I am also getting into by this point, too. I am really enjoying Archer. I'm sorry, I got kind of a cold here, but I'm laughing my ass off at Archer now. Archer's becoming a funny one of mine, my favorites. So that was a filming mistake. I didn't realize that. I thought I put a blue shield over that one. And the music, or the thing at the end here, was also a mistake. See you guys for episode 24, or 23, whatever.